Good morning. Today, as a community, we wanted to discuss a new executive order from the governor of North Dakota. Governor Doug Burgum made a difficult decision, but we have elected to close restaurants, bars, breweries, cafes, and similar on-site dining establishments starting at noon today and will go till April 6, 2020. I have a variety of people that are going to speak today in discussing this. And really what the message is we want to give the community is we have to hit it hard. This virus is very dangerous to our community and to our people. If we hit it hard for 2 weeks and do the social distancing, we can help slow down the spread of the virus and ultimately protect the people in our communities. It's oftentimes hard to make some of these tough decisions, but we feel as a team that's what's going to have to happen. Had a humorous post on tweet the other day that I think is kind of interesting. Ask not what sitting on the couch can do for you, but ask what sitting on the couch can do for your country. Kind of an odd type of thing, but the reality is that yes, if we do social distancing and stay away from a lot of social interaction, which is contrary to what we mostly do, since we like to see people and meet people, we can slow down this virus. And this virus is hitting all sorts of people. It's old people, young people, it's in between people, and also can be fatal to those people. So when people ask why are we so excited about this versus influenza, it's because we don't have any good ways to combat this virus right now. We would like truly to decrease the amount of cases in North Dakota and in our communities as well, and help protect people not to get the virus and to minimize deaths in our community. So we're going to talk today about this, different decisions that have been made in regards to this in each individual city as well. For my first speaker is West Fargo Commissioner Bernie Dardis, President of West Fargo, and he is going to talk about the impacts that have happened in our areas as well.
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney. Today is a very difficult day as a retired businessman to even address some of the issues that the business community is facing. The idea that as a former businessman that I would be a part of a decision that would tell other business people how to operate their business on a daily basis is so foreign to me, and I certainly empathize with all of the businesses that are affected and certainly all the employees that are affected also. I hope that everybody that is affected by this understands that the federal and state government has been working very diligently, not in public meetings, obviously, but to come up with programs and ideas that can help support those businesses and those employees. The SBA has announced the availability of $7 billion to assist small businesses adversely affected by this pandemic. We have been in contact with Senator Hovind's office, Senator Kramer's office, and Representative Armstrong's office. And they've been very supportive and understanding of the dynamics that this is going to create on the business community in North Dakota. Businesses that are experiencing or forecasting financial strain should also reach out to the Small Business Administration Disaster Loan Fund. There's many things that are being made available, things that are being enhanced that we've never seen before. So I would encourage all of you business people, and certainly I would encourage the employees that are affected by this to workman's safety, workman's compensation, to register for those types of things. Again, it's a difficult day for all of us, what we have to do. As Mayor Mahoney said, we absolutely have to change the curve of the bell curve, excuse me. And the safety of our public has to become first and foremost. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Dardis. Excellent comments. Our next speaker would be Cass County Chairman Chad Peterson, and he's going to talk a little bit about some of the social areas in this regard, since the county has a lot of services that they offer as well.
As the Mayor said, my name is Chad Peterson. I'm Chairman of the Cass County Commission. First of all, thank you to everyone watching. Thank you to everyone participating. We could not be more grateful than what you're doing for us right now. The social distancing matters. It is going to be what is going to be the not cure, but To flatten the curve, that's what it's going to take. First and foremost, what can the county do? The county's role is to support you in situations like this. We can support you with lighting, heating assistance, food assistance. Don't forget to apply to unemployment as well, but not everyone's going to qualify, but please show up at the county, ask questions. The intent right now is everything is by appointment, so you have to call first, make an appointment, we'll find you a caseworker, and that's how you'll get assistance. Again, we're grateful for the struggle, we're grateful for what we know is going to be pain for families at home. Unemployment exists for a reason, county government exists for a reason, city government exists for a reason, and this is why. If you have the ability to, I'm a small business owner, if you're a small business owner being impacted by this, know that, again, we're there for you, but if there's a way, my easiest example right now is Uber Eats is free. If you are a restaurateur and your food has the capability of being delivered in a manageable, easy way, get on Uber Eats, and yes, I'm talking to you, Shaq in North Fargo. I need my pancakes. My daughter needs her pancakes. So if you can get there, please. It won't be the cure for you, but it will help you survive. We've talked about gift certificates for existing companies, and I think we'll talk about that later as well, but any way you can support the people that are struggling, please do that. I have 1,000 things going through my head right now, and a lot of it is just empathy for people that are going to be affected by this. I wish we had a cure. We don't yet. There's medicines that are being produced right now that'll be solutions in the near term, not the long term. If there's anything I can do for you, I'm sure the mayors would agree. If there's anything we can do, please call, text, email. We're available. We're trying to be on the media as much as we can. The worst thing we can do is exacerbate rumors that are going through social media, online. We're there. One item I want to touch on too is if you can't make it more than a month, know that this is the best economy to be unemployed in. We still had, before this happened, between 15 and 25,000 jobs that are open in North Dakota. The county right now needs your help. We could take 5 or 10 people, and no, you won't be hired tomorrow. The onboarding process in law enforcement, as an example, as I've talked about before, is up to a month, maybe a little bit longer. But if you can't make it, there are jobs available for you. Yes, there's a catch-22 where the existing employers you have right now will need you back. But if you can help somewhere else, there are jobs that are open that are maybe able to help you, your family, that employer out long term. So with that, please, Mr. Mayor, thank you much. Thank you again to everyone watching. And if we can help, please let us know how.
Thank you, Chad. Great comments. Our next speaker is Mayor Corey Peterson of Horace, one of the fastest growing communities in the state. But as he being a small community, he too is attacking this virus.
Thank you, Mr. Mahoney, Mayor Mahoney. It's an interesting time. We're in extraordinary times that we've never been in before, and even small towns are running into this as well. Like our only restaurant in town now is going to be closed, so we understand that this is going on. We hope it's a short-term deal. If we can make it a couple of weeks or more, that would be great. But like Mayor Mahoney said, we're trying to get past this curve and and hopefully we can get through this all together. Of course, that's going to be a trying time. One of the things that we'd like to say too is that, like on our social media, though it's got its issues, it is also one of the ways that we communicate with our citizens to let them know what is going on. And that's one of the things that we're doing out in Horace, and I'm sure the rest of the communities here are doing the same, to keep our Facebook page updated so that you are informed of what's going on. There'll be links up there that you can go to get the latest information on which restaurants are open, which ones are doing takeout. That kind of deal, so you can stay informed on that as well. I think that's getting updated fairly frequently, so you should be able to get that information. Like I said, we're going to try and put as much information out there as we can. Again, making sure that you get the right information in the correct time. And we're hoping that, again, it helps us get through this thing. Again, we're in extraordinary times, but there's no need to panic with this. We're just trying to be prepared and get everybody on the same page so they all know what's going on. The other thing I'd like to make a comment about too is that this is a difficult time for elderly people, and even we have some other people, single moms that are at home, may not have all the means necessary to take care of different things here during this time. Try and pay attention to your neighbors, help them out. And again, we're a friendly area around here. Let's make sure that we keep doing that and we look out for everybody's well-being. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. The business people have been wondering what to do about it in the business area and what's we're going to do locally to help out our different businesses. We have the Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Chamber Vice Chair Sandy Piatz to talk about this. And don't worry, they're scrambling as well to find out different ways to help out the community.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Chamber of Commerce. And most importantly, I am humbled to speak in support of the businesses who are continuing to serve our community while taking care of their employees. The Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Chamber has over 2,100 members, which represent about 109,000 people in our community. And 77% of those businesses have 25 and under employees. And as a chamber, we're here to advocate for all businesses in the communities. We know a large percentage of businesses in this community are small businesses, and we've heard from a group of businesses in the community and the impact that the recent announcements will have on them and their employees. We want to continue to learn and understand how we can serve you. We're reaching out via phone, via email, through our networks to connect with our members and continue to learn and understand from your perspective what your needs are so that we can continue to advocate for you and leverage and find resources to support you during this evolution of this situation. We've created a webpage that's on our site today. Our site is fmwfchamber.com. And on this page, there is information where we have links that we believe are most helpful to businesses, and we're going to continue to update these links. An example would be the commerce link with additional resources for businesses. We're also continuing to collaborate with other organizations like the EDC and the city to share more resources with you that will support the businesses during this time. So please continue to monitor this as we update and share information with you. In regards to collaboration with the EDC and the cities, we've created a COVID-19 business task force and have invited representatives from national, state, and regional organizations that have a part in their mission to directly serve the needs of both the private sector and the business community. This task force is going to be focused on communications for businesses, workforce, employees and employers' resources, financial support, business engagement, how we can all work together to serve everyone's needs, and data analysis reporting. We will continue to brief our city leadership as we continue to move this task force forward, and so please watch for further details as we continue to work together with the other organizations in the community and the cities. In addition, the Chamber has added a page on our site to lift up those restaurants and establishments that are offering pickup and/or delivery options. Some of these businesses can also be found on the Chamber of Commerce on the food delivery apps, as was mentioned earlier. Your support is appreciated and significant for these businesses at this time. These are unprecedented times, and above all, your health and well-being are of the utmost importance to us, which is why you have seen the Chamber offer additional virtual options to continue to support the businesses. And we want to hear from you as well, as I mentioned earlier, on how we can support you. The Chamber's number is 218-233-1100. In closing, I want to express my sincere appreciation for Jim Parsons, our acting CEO, and the Chamber of Commerce team, and the Chamber Board of Directors, and all of our great partners in the community, like our city leaders and the EDC, for their resilience and hard work during these ever-evolving times. In addition, I want to share my appreciation for the businesses and organizations in the community. We live and serve, you guys live and serve every day to take care of how we live and work, and we have great appreciation for all that you're doing to be entrepreneurial and to also connect with each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy, very much. We wanted to have somebody from the industry talk as well. It has maximum impact. Randy Thorson has been a long-time businessman in our community with multiple bars and restaurants in Minnesota and North Dakota. And we'd like him to offer his opinion from his side of the business.
Thank you, Mayor. like everyone, I'm just as nervous as all of you. And we run bars and restaurants in 3 states and employ about 800 people. So we began our strategic planning earlier this week. And I want to talk to you about that a little bit. And yesterday morning I had talked with the mayor, and we had made a decision prior to the governor making the decision to close all the bars and the restaurants. We made that decision yesterday that we were going to do that. So we believe that this is the right decision. We believe that this 2-week period is something that we can deal with. And we also understand that it's going to affect some of the restaurants that maybe were a little more marginal. So one of the ideas that we've had, and that's what I really would like to talk about, is the fact that how do we get through this? And, you know, those of you that are in the restaurant bar business know that there's this gap, this 2 weeks. And we still have our payrolls to meet, we still have our vendors to pay. And that particular 2 weeks, a lot of us would use our sales during that time. So if we were able to get a bridge loan, something that I would like to ask the mayors and the governor to assist us in is a 2-week bridge loan, 0% from the rainy day fund. And we know that when we open back up again, those sales that we create can pay half of that funding back right away, so that we don't have an effect on these maybe 10 or 20% of the restaurants that won't make it. Much of what we do affects a lot of other lives as well. So it's important for us to make those payroll payments. It's important for us to pay our vendors. You know, our employees need to pay their rents. You know, they're concerned about how they're going to move forward. And so we, I believe, have that responsibility to take a look at how and what we can do. So that's strategically what we're going to do. I think that if any of you have a question, you know how to get a hold of me at the Old Broadway, and I'd certainly talk with you about what we're doing and any other strategic moves that we're making at this time. I do believe that Governor Burgum did make the right decision. I'm glad we can just get this resolved, and maybe within that 2-week period, we'll be back in business again.
Thank you, Randy, very much. A lot of the small businesses have reached out and asked what should they do, and what we want to do for the small business, you have to do social distancing. So if you have a hair salon, if you can change your hours or change your time or not have people side by side, you have to really keep to that rule of keeping people apart. And truly, if somebody's sick, please don't go out and don't be in our services, because you will spread that virus to everybody else. The cities, both West Fargo and Fargo, are looking at on utility bills next month for how to help out in the businesses, and we may well not have any penalties or late fee charges if people are unable to pay the next month. We will look at different ways in which we can help out the community in different aspects of that. And finally, we're all in this together. This is a very difficult time for everybody, but if you hit it hard for 2 weeks, that may well flatten the curve. If that flattens the curve, that's exactly what we want to do. If we delay and wait too long, what happens is then it gets momentum and you really have a pandemic throughout your state. So we feel strong. We want to be like Japan, in which they hit it hard and lasted for a month and was gone. So that's truly what you can hope for. The second issue, as a physician, I truly feel we will come up with some solutions to this virus as the next months go by. We're already seeing some exciting research being done that may have some antiviral chases that happen for us. My concern is just that it's hitting younger people, so it's not an old person's disease or a person on a chronic disease issue. This is a disease that can affect people all ages and all ranges. That's why we're taking it very seriously. And last but not least, I think I'm done, but actually Bernie Dardis wants to say one more thing.
Thank you, Mayor. Before we close today, I would certainly like to thank Randy and Sandy, Corey, Chad, and the mayor. This is just an example of the type of people that we've been bringing together over the last several weeks to discuss the issues that we're faced with. I'd also like to acknowledge the healthcare industry and professionals. Sanford, Essentia, the Nursing Home Association statewide, as well as the local nursing home leaderships and presidents. They have been absolutely amazing in the sense of bringing forward information to those of us that are lay people. Not everybody is a surgeon. That's the mayor of our communities up here. These people, their approach to this and all the things that they're doing have created a situation of how we're dealing with this to give us all the information minute by minute, hour by hour. And they should be commended for their leadership and how they are helping guide all the issues that we're dealing with this crisis. I'd also, as Mr. Thorson said, like to thank the governor and the lieutenant governor. Yesterday, Mayor Mahoney and I, we were on the phone with 15 other mayors across the state of North Dakota. And that was what the North Dakota League of Cities had reached out to the mayors of the bigger cities. And during those discussions were all of these hard points that they're deciding on today. And the point being is that the lieutenant governor was also on the call with us. And through the guidance and as well as the support, it was amazing to see the response that the governor's office had towards what our concerns were. They listened to each and every one of us. Lastly, also there was another major discussion taking place yesterday with regard to our schools, our most precious commodity, our children. And again, the leadership of our local school districts, their board of directors, their superintendents, their assistant superintendents, and their staff has been absolutely phenomenal. Myself alone, I would guess that I've corresponded with Superintendent Bette Sleddy from the West Fargo School District at the very least a dozen times this week, both offering support to one another. And I know that's true also of the Fargo School District and the leadership there. So to all of you, I want you to understand that there might not be a lot of public meetings that are transpiring, but there are meetings taking place everywhere. We're honoring and respecting the 10-person rule, and in some cases we're Skyping, like we're doing right here, right now, online. But I want the public to be totally reassured that the community leaders, the healthcare professionals, the educational professionals, we are all one in this fight, and we are doing everything we can do to safeguard your safety. Thank you. Be safe.